This is Tom Mackey. Did you just break your foot, your ankle? What's the best? Crutches, an Iwalk, a rollator, or a walker, or a knee scooter? We're going to go over the pros and cons and the prices of each one and which one I recommend on a practical level for my patients. And we're starting now. There's a lot of different devices now. There's 5 common devices that I see with patients: the crutches, the Iwalk, the rollator, the knee scooter, the walker without the wheels. The one thing I love about YouTube is these videos have more viewers than these medical studies can talk to. So please share which one works best for you: the Iwalk, the walker, the crutches, the knee scooter, the rollator. This really makes a big difference to the people watching. And what about orthotics? Have they helped you with your foot injury? What about a medical boot? Do you prefer the cast? Do you prefer the medical boot? Do you prefer an even up shoe? Maybe there is a better tip that I'm not including in these videos. I'm going to go over it from my viewpoint, but I'd love to hear your input because it makes such a difference in these videos. There's pros and cons to each one. Prices, pros, who should use each one. We're going to look at crutches number 1. The pros of crutches are they're low cost. They're lightweight. They usually give them to you in the ER. There might be a price, there might not be a price, or in America, you might get a $1,000 bill for something that's 20 bucks. It's lightweight and easy to transport. It says the pros are promoting upper body strength, but the cons are I usually see people walking and just carrying them around. They're not really doing anything. Most people don't use these properly. They don't use them to get pressure off the foot. They can cause discomfort in the underarms, the hands, the wrist. They don't offer a hands-free experience. Do you have a cell phone? If you have a cell phone, you're not going to be using your crutches if you're moving around. And they may result in secondary injuries due to abnormal weight bearing. And that's what I see quite a bit. People just don't use crutches. The crutches are not really helpful for the average patient that I see, but a young, fit, athletic person might use them. Crutches are by far the most popular only because they're low cost, in my opinion. They're easily adaptable and they allow you to move around a little bit, but the downsides are most people aren't strong enough to use them. They get irritated underneath their armpits almost immediately. They don't really move around and keep pressure off their foot. Like, take a look at this person going down the stairs. This is so dangerous. You might as well just hold on to the railing. There's actually less mobility. There's a high risk of falls. You get tired, you hurt your armpits. Most people don't actually get trained properly. You want to get some training. You want to get fit properly with the person dispensing them. You want to make sure you're strong enough, and you want to take regular breaks so you don't hurt your armpits and you don't fall over. But the main thing is make sure you're actually using it to keep pressure off your foot, which most people are not. Number 2, the Iwalk. This device allows you to bend your knee and allows you to move around with a bent knee. It's almost like a peg leg. I think of about a pirate with a peg leg. This is the Iwalk 2.0. It takes up less space and it's lighter than a knee scooter. It can be comfortable in the sitting position. It's more economical, but not a lot more economical than a knee scooter. It offers a normal walking pattern and lifts the leg. So with the Iwalk 2.0, you do get complete pressure off the foot, and it does allow you to move around. For young patients, this is a hands-free experience. It's more independence. The people that can use the Iwalk 2.0, they love it and they use it. So if you think you're a young, fit person that can use this, this is a great choice for indoor use, climbing stairs, short distances. I'd say 90% of patients who think they can use it are very happy with it, very compliant, allows for easy recovery. It's hands-free, so you can use your cell phone. You get used to it. There's good blood flow. You're moving around. There's less issues with blood clotting. There's a lot of pros. You can see that there's a lot of pros by the manufacturer because they're trying to sell these things. And it eliminates bulk and injuries caused by knee scooters, like falling off the knee scooter. The cons are it can cause some skin irritation to your knee. Over long distances, you don't want to use this a lot. If you're older, if you're heavier, the Iwalk 2.0 is going to be difficult. It requires practice. It requires balance. If you fall over, it can cause an issue. The prices vary. I do include some of my links below. The Iwalk tends to be a little bit more economical than a good rollator or a good knee scooter, but a little bit more than crutches. As I was making this, I didn't realize the Iwalk 3.0 came out, but I actually like this for younger people. It's hands-free, it's comfortable, you have good stability, you do have independence, you can move around, and the people that can use this use it extremely well, and it keeps almost all pressure off the foot. The downsides are you need to have good balance and strength ahead of time. If you're older, you might have a harder time with this. There is an initial learning curve. It feels weird, but once you get going, it actually goes really well. Now, the Iwalk 3.0 here in America, the cost starts in the 300 range, so it's not the cheapest thing in the world. The recommendations are you want to get some training at the beginning with some people to help you. Make sure it's fitted properly, especially if you buy it at the store. But if you get it online, just return it if it doesn't fit well. And you have to make sure you're strong. Now, you do just have one point of contact with that knee, so make sure it's grippy. And if it's a slippery surface, there's always the risk that you could slip. So be very careful. That could be catastrophic. That brings us to the knee scooter. The knee scooter for broken ankles, for more severe foot injuries, this is a good one to get, especially if you're going to school, if you're going longer distances. I recommend the Iwalk or some crutches or something for indoors. The scooter is better for longer distances, but it's hard to get into cars. It's hard to move around. If you're someone bigger, this could be a really good option. It requires less practice. It's more stable than the Iwalk. It holds the leg for quicker recovery. For longer distances and open areas, it's a higher satisfaction rate and well tolerated. It can cause some lower back pain. It can be difficult to get used to. It can be uncomfortable. It does require balance and coordination, and it's not suitable if you have back problems, hip problems, and potentially knee problems. It's more expensive than the crutches and the Iwalk, and it can be difficult to get in your car and out of the car. The prices do vary. They can be pretty economical, or they can range to very expensive. I love the rolling knee scooter. It's a hands-free and stable device. It's fast and there's less fatigue. It's comfortable and you can fold it up, you can store it. But the downsides are it can't get upstairs. It can't get up little bumps. Unless maybe you're using this heavy duty one with the big tall rubber wheels. It has a medium cost. So some cheap budget ones start at about $100 in the United States, but the more expensive ones like this one pictured here are like 300 plus. But it might be hard to fold up. It might be hard to move. And you have to practice. I have had some people fall off of it when they hit a bump, so just be careful. But overall, if you're going to school or you're on campus or moving around from a parking lot, this is probably the way to go. It's quick. You can get to where you need to go. The downsides are it can be slippery. The brakes could break. But overall, it's a lot easier than the Iwalk, for example. A walker. This is one of my favorite options because it's low cost and it's easy to use and it can fold up. It's easy for the house. This offers full support. So especially most people that I see are older people. You can lean all your body weight except for the foot. Even if you're using your foot, you can get most of your body weight off. You can lean with one hand while using your cell phone. You can put stuff in the walker. It's meant more for inside the house. If you're going longer distances, a knee scooter or a wheelchair is probably better. And if you have severe mobility issues like back pain, stiff hamstrings, stiff glutes, stiff hips, this is the way to go. There are also wheeled options. That's what I call the Rollator. And if you're weak, it lets you build up your strength and get better. It's a little bit better than a cane, although a cane is kind of in the class of a walker. A cane you use on one side, so if you're fit enough to use a cane, use a cane, but if you need more, a walker is a pretty good option. The cons are it's not as easy to transfer. You look like an old person. Unless you are an old person, then it's good. But the beauty is it's cheaper, it's easy to use, it's great for inside the house. It's tougher to use for long distances. I like the walker for inside the house, and when you have a broken foot, ankle, and you're working from home, this is probably the way to go. A rollator is a more advanced one with wheels, with brakes. These can be more expensive. If you need a walker long-term, I recommend a rollator. There's a lot of great options, a lot of great reviews. They don't require lifting. They help with upper body strength. They help with balance. They help with postural issues. They're better for longer distances. So they're kind of like a hybrid of the walker and the knee scooter. If you're someone older, I highly love this. It has built-in seating, so a lot of my patients use these, they sit. The cons are they're a little bit more expensive, they're heavier, they're hard to move into vehicles sometimes, although they do fold up really well. I love these rollators because there's a lot of different types. There's ones you could lean all your body weight into. There's ones that are light and easy to get around. They are a more stable option for older people. They can move indoor and outdoor. They have a built-in seat in case you get tired, but the downsides are it's hard to go upstairs. There's a risk of it moving on accident. That's probably the biggest thing to watch out for. And you do have to lean on it, but there are some that you can lean all of your body body weight onto. And it can be cheap if there's no wheels to very expensive if it's the ones that you put all of your body weight onto. Now, here's what I recommend. If you have a hard time moving, that's saying if you don't use it, you lose it. Even if you can barely walk, use a walker. Try and move around your house. Continue building up your leg strength. That is the only way you're going to get better. The worst thing I see is older patients of mine, if they stop moving for like a week or more, their muscles get so weak and their joints get so stiff that they almost never recover to the point that they were. It's so important to keep moving. Here's my countdown and who should use them. Number 5 in the countdown are crutches. They're the most affordable, sometimes free. Most people don't use them. Usually only younger people. They can be versatile, uncomfortable, and not practical. They're not good for longer distances. Number 4, the Iwalk. I actually love the Iwalk for young, healthy people. This is a great way to go, but they're not the only option. You don't want to keep using it forever. I had patients that get tired and eventually fall over. It's costlier than crutches. It's hand-free. It's very compliant, great results. Number 3, the Rollator. If you're an older person with stiff back, hips, knees, the Rollator is great. It has a lot of mid-range prices, can be expensive, can be cheaper, great for balance assistance. It can help take a lot of pressure off the foot. Number 2, the walker. If you're just inside the house, if you work from home, if you don't have far to go, a walker is a great option. It sounds like it's for older people and boring, but people really enjoy it. It's very practical and very low cost. And number 1 is the knee scooter. If you got to move around long distances, if you go to school, if you go to work, if you work at a factory and you got to get to your desk, the knee scooter is generally the best overall option. You get lots of distances, probably not the best for the house, but it's good for consistent use because it's going to take you 6 weeks plus to heal up your broken ankle. Let me know what your injury is, and if this helped, tell me which one worked best for you. These videos get so many views that it's actually better than some of these studies. I love hearing your feedback, and it really helps other people out in the comments. Please help us out. Foot. Did I get it wrong? Is there anything I'm missing? Check out my top 25 guides for a broken foot, broken ankle. I go over all devices, shoe levelers, best shoes, best orthotics, best braces, best socks, best tips, everything for your broken foot or broken ankle. Check that out below.